Shalom. I just want to start off by saying, Call Halayim La Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Makakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all full and the Akis spreading His truth throughout the four corners of this earth. My name is Asha Allah, and today I just want to go into what is salvation. And I just want to start off with this scripture. This is Romans 13 and verse 11, and it says, and that knowing the time, that now is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than what we believe. So now, knowing the times that we're in, it's time for us to wake out of that mental sleep, man, that mental slumber. Why? For our salvation is nearer than what we believe. Our salvation is literally around the corner, man. With these prophecies popping like popcorn, our salvation is closer than what we think. So when you go into the word salvation, it's Santadea, and it says deliverance, preservation, safety, salvation, deliverance from the molestation of enemies in an ethical sense, that which concludes the soul's safety or salvation of messianic salvation as the present possession of all true Christians, which can only be Israelites. Future salvation, the sum of benefits and blessings which the Christians, redeemed from all earthly ills, will enjoy after the visible return of Hamashiach from heaven in the consummated and eternal kingdom of the Most High. So I just want to go ahead and break down these definitions with scriptures, man, because these other nations, they don't need deliverance from anything. They're living well off. They're doing as I will. Those that need deliverance are the Israelites, man. And what do we need deliverance from? Let's grab the scriptures, Luke 1. Luke 1, and I'm going to start at verse 68. Blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. That horn of salvation is Yahweh Shai. In Matthew 1 and 22, it says that he had came for his people. Verse 69 again, and hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant, the oath which he swore to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us, that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear, in holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our lives. So we need deliverance. We need safety from our enemies, man. And like I said, what do these other nations need salvation for? They're well off, man. They're not the ones under captivity. They're not the ones under the curses, man. You hit this Daniel 9 real quick. Daniel 9 and verse 11, it says, "Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him." So, all Israel had transgressed. You know, all Israel went off, man. Therefore, the curses fell upon us, man. Let me just go to Deuteronomy 28. And I'm going to just start at verse 45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come up upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And let's just go into that word sign real quick. And it says, what? Sign, signal, a distinguishing mark. So these curses would be a distinguishing mark upon the children of Israel and upon their seed forever, man. So with these curses being a distinguishing mark, you know, it shows you who is the children of Israel, man. The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Verse 47, because thou servest not the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, thy power, with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee, man. And thinking about our last captivity, you know, the transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade, you know, when the conquistadors came over here to Northern Kingdom, you know, and put them under captivity, you know, they put the yokes of iron upon our necks, man. You know, and when those yokes came off, you know, we were mentally destroyed. You know, the physical yokes came off, and the mental yokes got put on our mind, man, because we forgot who we were as a people. You know, so therefore we was destroyed. You know, we was not a people. I believe that's all I wanted out of there. You know, because let me just grab this first Maccabees. First Maccabees 2:10, it says, what nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils, man? And then when you go and look that word up, it says, what? To strip, uncover, lay bare, strip of clothing, rob, plunder, pillage. You know, so all these nations have had a hand in robbing us as a people, man, of laying us bare, man, of spoiling us. Let's just go back real quick to the Psalms. Psalms 82. Let's see, Psalms 83. Yep, this is Psalms 83. And let me just start at verse 1. A song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Most High. Keep not thy peace, and be not still, O Most High. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they make an uproar, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken a crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thine hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, man. You know, and that's part of taking a hold of our spoils, man. You know, robbing us bare of who we are as a people, man. You know, it says that those yokes of iron would come upon us until we were destroyed. You know, mentally destroyed, not knowing who we were, not knowing where we came from. Verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And verse 6 goes into all the nations, man, with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, being the head nation, man, being the first, the top nation. So going back, let's see, going back to this definition. Back to this definition, it says what? Deliverance from the molestation of enemies, man. And when you go to that word molestation, it literally means the act of annoying or vexation or harassing. And then when you even go, we can pull it up. When you even go to the root word of that, it is molest. It means to cause trouble, grief, vexation, disturb, harass, man. And with the curses being upon us, man, the enemies have had their chances to do that. To give us hell, man, to cause us trouble and grief, man. Deuteronomy 28:45 on down goes into the curses and of how I just read a couple of them. Slovakia. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64, and the Lord Yahweh Shem shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood or stone. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease. That's to be troubled, man, to be grief. This is not our rest, man. And right now we are still under captivity. Our captors still hold us under oppression, man. Verse 65, Deuteronomy 28, verse 65. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and a sorrow of mind, man. And that's us today as a nation, as a people. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Before coming into this truth, before having our eyes open, we had nothing to live for, man. It was darkness. No way out. Living just to get by. With no hope of anything. Verse 66, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt have none assurance of thy life, man. So that's the Lord giving the power over to these other nations to cause us trouble, man. So going back to this definition of Romans 13. It says, salvation as the present possession of all true Christians, future salvation, the sum of benefits and blessings which the Christians redeemed from all earthly ills, being in these earthly tabernacles, man, being in the flesh, dealing with what we have to go through on the daily, in the flesh. Will enjoy after the visible return of Hamashiach from heaven in the consummated and eternal kingdom, man. So let's figure out who the sum of benefits and blessings are for. Let's go to Romans 9, and I'm going to just start at verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the grafting back in, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises. Now, those promises can be found in Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 13. You know, those are the promises and the blessings, the benefits, you know, uh, uh, that were promised unto us if we was to serve the Lord in gladness of heart and truth and sincerity, man. You know, those promises and blessings are for the Israelites only. You know, we could see the Malachi 3 and 6 says what? I am the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed, man. You know, this Salakia. This Isaiah 45 and 17 hits it right on the head. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end, man. So salvation is only for Israel. You know, it says we shall be saved with an everlasting salvation, man. So our kingdom is going to be a forever, man. It's going to be everlasting. You know, eternal. You know, as that definition had read, eternal in the kingdom of the Most High, man. You just grab this John 4 and 22. And that says what? Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews, man. You know, and the salvation is only for Israel. You know, ye other nations, you don't know what you worship, man. You don't know what you you don't know what you're saying nor doing, man. And trying to portray us, man. For salvation is only of the Jews, man. Is only of Israel. You know, so salvation is needed for Israel. Why? Because we're under the curses, man. We're in these fleshly bodies, man. That can't that can't, you know, please the Most High fully, man. You know, that goes off, man. Let's see, grab this Hebrews 8 and 8, for finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind and write them into their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. You know, us putting off those stony hearts and putting on the fleshly heart, man. You know, us receiving those new bodies, man. And in that, being able to serve the Lord in sincerity and truth, man, and to never go off again, because the laws will be written in our inwards. You know, so that's what salvation is, man. And it's only pertaining unto Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. So hopefully this is edifying. And, you know, I just want to end it off by saying, Kahalayam la Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Kakadash, want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all for electing the occupants spreading truth throughout the four corners of this earth. Shalom.